Coming up tonight, police are adding insight to a viral video involving two officers taken inside the Central Police Station. Plus, passenger safety a top priority. In an exclusive interview, civil aviation officials tells Our News that inspections at LPIA will be beefed up. And later, arts and entertainment. You know and love his music. Our Gene Joseph has a one-on-one with the artist known as Solo. Those stories and more as Our News Weekend starts right now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. A viral video from inside a Central Police Station, the subject of an internal investigation tonight. That video released Saturday showing two officers in the Central Police Station in a dispute. It shows a male and a female officer in an exchange that resulted in the female being escorted out the station by the male officer. Tonight, the Deputy Commissioner of Police with responsibility for disciplinary action says the matter is under investigation.
Upon receiving this video clipping that went viral, being responsible for discipline, I immediately had my team, Complaints and Corruption Branch, conduct an investigation. The investigation is ongoing, and I wish to advise you members of the press and the public that we will complete this investigation very, very shortly, and at the end of the day, we will let the chips fall where they may.
The Deputy Commissioner says he could not confirm the exact codes that were violated, but did confirm there were a number of violations. He adds that the police force is made up of 99% good officers, and he wants to assure the public that they will continue to serve in that way.
However, members of the press, where we see unethical behavior by police officers, we will use whatever force is reasonably necessary to ensure that those officers are dealt with very quickly. We do not, and we will not, under any circumstances, condone bad behavior of our police officers. Again, I cannot comment on this particular matter, only to say that it will be investigated. The two officers concerned have been removed from active duty. They have been on administrative leave with pay, pending the outcome of this matter.
Meantime, the Civil Aviation Authority beefing up their inspection process and regulations at the Lynden Pillin International Airport. This comes following a viral video involving a Flamingo Air aircraft whose door ladder fell open mid-air. In this report, our Italia Hall speaks with the chairman of the authority.
An eye-opener, and that's how the chairman of the Civil Aviation Authority, Devad Francis, is describing the recent incident involving a Flamingo Air flight when a door ladder was hanging from an aircraft mid-air. Francis says the authority is now enhancing their presence at the airport, all in an effort to prevent incidents like these from happening again.
We don't only take our cue from social media, but as such, we are incessantly trying to ensure the public's safety as they fly.
Now there's been reports of pilots who should not be receiving any compensation transporting passengers. He says they are currently in the middle of an investigation.
We are planning a very aggressive approach towards hackers. Persons know of incidents in the past where we've even had a plane crash back in the day as it related to a supposed hacker. And I repose the utmost confidence in my Director General, Alex Ferguson, in dealing with such incidents, and his team in dealing aggressively with hackers, and we ask the traveling public to also not contribute to this.
Francis says they have a list of pilots who have the necessary AOC certifications.
They could find out who is on this list of ratified carriers instead of putting their lives at risk, and so we, like I said, the traveling public is of paramount importance that we keep them safe.
And if pilots are caught in the act, their license can be suspended and they can be fined.
Instead of traversing through civil penalties, I'm more amenable now to making civil aviation now have these penalties traverse through the criminal courts now. Because when you carrying persons and you're taking monies from persons and you're saying that you're a commercial pilot, but you know that you are hacking, but then you put the lives of persons at risk.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Natalia Hall.
Thanks for that update, Natalia. Are you looking to enhance your business or perhaps start a new business? Well, the Access Accelerator and the U.S. Embassy launching their Academy for Women Entrepreneurs program in Grand Bahama this past week. Participants will take part in a 16-week program, and those who succeed will receive grant funding to develop their business at the end of the program. Those potential participants sharing their thoughts on the information session held at the Pelican Bay Resort.
Tonight was an awesome night, especially for the ladies of Grand Bahama, because it's giving them a lot of hope in the midst of everything. And most of all, it's a program, the OR program is a program that is preparing the ladies of Grand Bahama to, to get ready for all the things that are about to happen for Grand Bahama.
It's encouraging to know that there are organizations out there for Bahamian women that allows us to grow in our knowledge, to gain expertise and training on how to build your business from the ground.
To apply for the OR program, you can visit the U.S. Embassy website and social media pages or Access Accelerator's website. The Women's Investment Group's also participating with Access Accelerator and the U.S. Embassy for the initiative.
Tonight really was focused on bringing information to the women so that they can apply to be a part of the program, so that we can give them the tools necessary to help them expand and grow their business. So I'm very excited, and I'm hoping that all of the ladies who came out tonight will apply to be a part of the program.
Heading into the winter months, Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association President Robert Sandy Sands says concerns of high light bills at resorts during the summer months remain a concern. However, Sands is hopeful that the government continues to find ways to not only make electricity affordable, but renewable.
The Bahamas Hotels and Tourism Association advocacy position is that we want clean, reliable, affordable electricity. We're not there yet. So we will continue to advocate for this particular position. I think we have, as I said, articulated many of the positions that can be followed. We are, however, encouraged by the government's commitment to renewables and to other forms of electricity, and also their commitment to bringing down the cost and ensuring more reliability. So we will continue to work with them to ensure that that happens sooner than later.
Sands has also shared concerns before of high electricity costs at resorts in the Family Islands. He says there should be relief coming soon.
BPL gave some datelines in which this would happen. So I think beginning next month, we should begin to see a drop in the fuel surcharge costs, which will directly impact the cost of electricity for all of us, not only hotels, but consumers alike going forward. So we look forward to that day, and it'll be a hallelujah day for all Bahamians.
With the cost of living on the rise, you may notice your everyday items at the grocery store have skyrocketed. With the Bahamas importing nearly 90% of its food costing approximately $1 billion, the need for food security is paramount. This need is also shared by our neighbors in the region. And for the Bahamas and Jamaica, it's a long-lasting friendship that allows both countries to collaborate as we seek to establish food security. Here is Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining in Jamaica, Floyd O'Brien Green.
And part of what we're doing is clearly trading technical support. We think it's very, very important. Bahamas has done extremely well in fisheries, right? And we're looking to them to see how we can strengthen some of our fisheries sector. We have developed great extension agricultural services, so farmer field schools, things of that nature. We're trying to work with Bahamas on that. There are things that we have developed food security in, like our poultry industry, right? Again, why get poultry from the United States when Jamaica is really, literally as close as, right? So I think we're seeing more alignment and we're seeing greater strategic steps. I think the hosting of this Caribbean Week in Agriculture will really move that dialogue further and will move us to action. So we're happy to be here. We're happy to continue to partner with the Bahamas.
The COVID-19 pandemic saw a slowdown in the shipment of goods, inclusive of food. Green noting this experience served as an eye-opener for Caribbean citizens.
COVID was a massive wake-up call for the region, right? It was the first time we started to think about, can we really feed ourselves? If the world were to shut its borders, as it literally did, would we be able to survive? And I think that has put greater focus on the importance of farmers. And as was said, the reality, you may do without other professions, but you have to eat.
Well, we've got a lot more to get to tonight, but first, it's time for a check on weather. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Sunday evening, everybody. Nice changes expected in the forecast. In the meantime, though, we do have a frontal boundary and a surface trough moving across the area. That kept us cloudy for the first part of the day. 84 degrees outside our studios right now under partly cloudy skies. The winds out of the west at 9 miles per hour, and your feels-like temperature, we are not feeling those 90s. Now we are into the upper 80s. Satellite and radar composite showing a trough, prefrontal trough, now across the New Providence, Andros, as well as the Luther area. Some showers associated with that will continue to affect us, but this is going to slide towards the south. And if you notice, there's just a slight ribbon of some clouds just north of us. There you go, across the Lake Okeechobee area. That's the actual front. We will get that later on tonight. But once that front goes through, we should see some nice changes in our forecast for next week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast is still to come.
And when Our News Weekend returns, we say a final farewell to a veteran journalist, a mentor, friend, and consummate professional.
Favorite Bahamian artist of all time? I'll give you some time to think about it.
The greatest Bahamian song was recorded by the beginning of the end, Funky Nassau.
We're in a day and age where things can be different and still be authentically Bahamian because it's the Bahamian people bringing it to you.
Junkin was like the heart and soul of the Bahamian culture.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We've invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
An outpouring of love on Grand Bahama as mourners gathered at Unity in Christ Assembly Saturday morning to pay their final respects to a giant and gem of the community, veteran journalist Natalie Martin. Veteran journalist Natalie Martin, known and loved for her kind spirit, her love for others, and drive for perfection in news and production, laid to rest on October 14th. Loved ones traveling from near and far to say farewell to the journalist that fell in love with the craft growing up on Long Island. Former colleague and affectionately called her adopted brother, Ricardo Lightbourne, sharing fond memories.
Nat and I shared the same belief. We work for the Bahamian people. We protect our ZNS family. We ensure that our families are taken care of, and anyone that needed help, we reached out to. Nats was a people's person and had a special gift when it came to dealing with people.
Leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, noting that Natalie led with professionalism and never indulged in the games of politics. Former Minister for Broadcasting and Information, Miles LaRota, echoing those sentiments, adding that although he knew her for a short time, she made a lasting impact.
She was balanced and professional in how she executed her job. No matter who she supported privately, she was the consummate professional.
It's important to have that balance of somebody who is good at their craft, but is yet sympathetic and empathetic to the plight of others. And in our conversations, she has never ever asked for anything for her. but for the betterment of the company that she worked for, a company that she loved.
Also paying respects were Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, and community leader Dudley Sade.
I did have one issue with her. She called me a lot, but whenever she called me, it was always on behalf of somebody else. She never called saying that she needed anything. Iram, I know this young man who needs A. I know this young lady who needs B. I know this family who needs support. Can you help them out? And of course, whenever Natalie called, I would answer. And then I found later on that she also had needs, but she would never call on her behalf, always on behalf of others.
On behalf of Reach Out Youth Organization and countless of people here in Grand Bahama, we have lost a giant of a reporter, a friend, a confidant, someone that no matter what you're going through, you pick up the phone, Natalie answer the telephone. It's a great loss for our country.
Former colleague LaWanda Burrows remembers Martin Burrow for extending herself to those she loved.
I don't know how we would function in the coming months without her, because she knows everything. She knew everything. She knew how to plan. She knew how to do everything, Megan. So to see Natalie laying in that coffin today, it's hard for me. Working with her for 26 years, it's hard for me to know how she cared for me. Don't mind us fussing. She cared so much for us as individuals with our families. She will dearly be missed. Dearly be missed.
Martin Burrow died at the age of 55 after a battle with colon cancer. Her remains were interred at the Grand Bahama Memorial Park. Natalie, you will dearly, dearly be missed. And still to come on Our News Weekend, Girl Power to the Max, a local reverend adding some fun to a girls' conference all about empowerment. Stick with us. Welcome back. International Day of the Girl was celebrated this past week on October 11th, but the message of strong women and girls continues year-round. Straw Inc. Center for Young Women hosting a special seminar for girls 10 through 11, but it wasn't your typical sit-down session. Here's a look at one of the sessions that had the young ladies engaged and hyped about self-worth.
Let me tell you something, young lady. You are all that and a bag of chips. You got it going on up in here. As a matter of fact, girlfriend, you are slaying. Yeah, babe, you are slaying, and you are somebody.
Reverend Dr. Diana Francis pouring into the young ladies of various schools across the island. Her message? The importance of self-esteem. She says the way you see yourself, love yourself, and value yourself all create a ripple effect in your choices. Now, Dr. Francis also mixing it up a bit, giving this new spelling and definition for the word female.
I want to spell it like this. F-E-E-M-A-L-E. You are a female. It means that you should not play yourself cheap. It means that you've got value. It means that you are important. It means that you are special. Don't let anybody treat you any or every kind of way. When people step to you, they should respect you. They should value you. They should esteem you. When people step to you, they should not mistreat you or speak to you in a manner that is inappropriate.
Dr. Francis recalls life choices she made in high school, some she thought would hinder the rest of her life. But she shares that she gave her life to Christ at the age of 16 and was never the same.
I felt a love I never felt before. I felt a value I never felt before. I felt like I was somebody. I felt great on the inside. I felt like I had value. I graduated all around girl, most outstanding girl of my class. And I graduated valedictorian, top of my class. The devil meant it for her bad, but God turned it around.
She shared these words of advice.
Plan an awesome future for yourself. Make quality decisions. Stay out of fighting and cursing. Stay away from that kind of stuff. Avoid negative people, toxic people. If someone is touching you at home, tell somebody.
And with more interaction from the young ladies, she left them with this catchy reminder about self-esteem.
Oh yeah, oh, you got it. You got it. You got it going on. Say what? You got it. You got it. You got it going on. You are somebody.
Awesome message. Well, the Inspire Her conference hosted by Cable Bahamas dubbed a success as 10th through 12th grade students, as well as women from throughout the community, came together for a day of empowerment, elevation, and enrichment. CEO of Manual, Maya Watson, had an interactive workshop sharing advice on how young women can build self-confidence.
The first thing is, one, you're not what the world says you are. And I think especially for women and especially Black women, the world often tries to tell us who we are, and we have to really know who we are. The second is the most important person who talks to you is you. So like what you say to yourself, what you think about yourself, you're either pulling yourself up or pulling yourself down. There is no neutrality. And the third is that we need each other as women. And so it's not possible that in every moment we're going to have all the confidence that we need. And so then it's like, as sisters in this world, how do you make sure that you're protecting and uplifting your sister?
The Emmy Award winner and CEO shares why she traveled to the Bahamas to be a part of the inspiring conference.
When I was younger, people poured into me. People shared their wisdom, and sometimes when you're in those environments and you hear something, that could be the thing that's a catalyst to catapult you to where you want to go. And so for me, it's such a privilege to have the career that I've had, but it doesn't mean anything if I can't share and pour it back into others. So it is such a blessing to be here. The people here are so amazing. They're so beautiful, and we've had such a beautiful welcome. And so I'm really happy to be here.
On the other side of this break, a one-on-one with Solo. Our Jean Joseph talks music and a message in tonight's arts and entertainment segment. Stick with us. Welcome back. Their goal is to be the spark that ignites brotherly love, ultimately drawing more young people closer to God. Founder of Beachfront Co, Basil Silverni, describes the organization as community and culturally based. They seek to spread God's word through action, and that action means working within the community.
We could help them grow in their word life and their faith, and just to be surrounded by young, like-minded individuals chasing after the same goal in God. We also can be defined by as a cultural impact, where we're making music. We have plans to make movies and short films in the future. All these things to make a positive impact to the culture, promoting a kingdom culture.
The group launching their very first initiative recently. Director of Outreach and Evangelism, Erica Roll, explains how the hashtag Build a Bag project works.
You see that there is a need. So what you do is, if you want to be a part of this experience, if you want to be a part of this journey with us, how to participate, you go into your local grocery store or whatever store you feel like going into, and you purchase bag of groceries. You can spend any amount. There is no limit. You spend how much ever you feel led to spend, and you just build your bag. You put how much with non-perishable items, of course, and you build your bag. If you don't have the time to go into the store and actually build your bag, you can actually donate the funds to us, and we would go in the store and build your bags for you. And after that's done, we would go into the different communities, wherever the Spirit leads, of course, and we would just give back to the community.
A little gloomy and overcast today, but as to what you can expect heading into the work week, meteorologist Greg Thompson is back with your extended forecast.
Yeah, thanks again, Megan, and welcome back, everybody. In our tropics, we're taking a look at the tropics right now. We still have two systems out there we're continuing to monitor. Disorganized showers and thunderstorms associated with a broad area of low pressure that's been kind of getting its act together. The National Hurricane Center giving this a very high chance for formation over the next couple of days. This system will continue to track towards the west, should be approaching the northern Leeward Islands over the course of next week, so they are going to have to watch this one very closely. And then we have Sean. Sean is just basically falling apart. It's a tropical depression right now. It's going to become a remnant low later on tonight. 30-mile-per-hour winds, but the system is going to pose no problem for anybody at this time. And then, of course, we have that surface trough, prefrontal trough across our area, falling apart. Some showers and isolated thunderstorms will continue with that system, but the front is actually behind that. That front should get in here, the northern Bahamas, late tonight, and by next week we expect a nice and cool change behind this. Dry air mass will be moving in. We're looking at some very nice temperatures for the upcoming week. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Small craft caution in effect. We expect some rip currents out there, so you beachgoers, exercise caution there as well. Northwesterly winds, they will be bumped up 15 to 20 knots. Seas running 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Your high tide will be at 9:02 tonight. Low tide taking place at 3:08 in the morning. And for the southeast Bahamas, southwesterly flow 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, we will keep some showers in the forecast late tonight and into tomorrow. And then by Tuesday, temperatures will take that nice dip. We're looking for some low to mid 80s. Nighttime temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. And then by the weekend, we expect another disturbance to be moving in. So we should see a couple more showers by the end of the week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe weekend, everybody.
Joel Dill, better known as Solo to the Google, is responsible for many viral social commentary songs that have swept across the country, often poking fun at the latest topics in Bahamian society. Though many enjoy the jokes, he takes his calling seriously and shares some of his plans with our Jean Joseph.
Solo began his journey in the church and found his first success with his contribution to the Landlord urban gospel hit, We Need Peace. He soon struck out on his own and shifted his focus towards addressing social issues and current events at the suggestion of a colleague.
The bridge toll was going up $2 around that time. So she asked me, she said, man, Solo, y'all need to do a song with this. You need to do a song with this. So I say, you know what, let me just see what I could do. And around that time, I created the song $2. The people trying to take all our quarters. The bridge toll gone up $2. And then I sent it out that morning, and that's when the first song went viral that I did, pertaining to social commentaries and what took place.
Solo tapped into this outlet and made it his calling card, shedding light on issues with a grain of salt and some laughs.
I used that opportunity to turn those events into, into musical satire, some would call it. And then every event would come out, not all, but a few, the ones that spark interest and that I got inspired from, then I created a song.
One of Solo's latest songs takes aim at a recent incident involving a plane that had a door pop open mid-flight. The videos and discussion flooded social media. Although the public may have biases, Solo says his messages reflect the people's voice.
One side can like it, especially if it's talking about the other side who they don't like, you know what I mean? But it's all the truth. So I try to balance it with, having a message there so people could still take from what I'm saying as opposed to just saying that it was funny.
While Solo is passionate about music, he has to make a living to support himself and his family. He does landscaping, details cars, and paints. He hopes the government will support musicians and entertainers to help develop a fully functioning music industry in the country.
Everyone can't afford a rake and scrape beat. Everyone can't afford to go to the studio and spend X amount of dollars. They may have their own studio. I think the government could bring about more grants in the area of music, that encourage the youths more to get into the industry of music, because we have a lot of youths, who are interested, but they're interested in other genres as well.
Solo says expect to see more content from him, including music videos and a compilation album scheduled for later this year. His content also lives on TikTok and Instagram under To The Google, or Facebook as Solo Made. Reporting for Our News, I'm Gene Joseph.
Thanks so much for that, Gene, and thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a wonderful week ahead.